Well, welcome back to Across the Park podcast. A bit of a special one today. Going to be no moaning. There's going to be no crying, no whining. We're just going to talk about a very special subject that has came to the attention of Across the Park podcast. It's a young girl called Amber we're trying to do some fundraising for her, and joining us is someone who's a big part of that, and a big blue as well. Jay Banks. Jay, thanks for joining us Across the Park. How are you, lad?
No worries, I'm all right. How are you?
Good, mate. I'm good. I'm looking forward to letting you hopefully get across the message that you want. So we're talking about a very young girl here who grew up in arguably the heart of Liverpool, in Norris Green, a working class family. I'm sure a lot of blues in that family as well, which relates to our podcast. Can you give us the backstory on the story about Amber for our listeners and viewers?
So basically, what I do is I work in a school for kids who don't deal well with mainstream school, up in Pace Cross, Liverpool. And one of our students, Amber, she's been with us for a while now. When she was younger, basically what it is Amber, unfortunately, when she was 2 years old, fell very sick, and she was diagnosed with meningitis. A part of the condition, her limbs started turning purple and black, and then eventually the doctors unfortunately decided that they deteriorated that much that there was nothing else they could do, and that unfortunately the only option was amputation. From that, Amber has dealt with it so well. She's obviously, I've only knew Amber for like 2 years now, but since she's come, she's honestly just an inspiration. Honestly, some of the stuff she can do, you wouldn't believe it. She's just functioning as any normal child would. But Amber's main goal, so before lockdown, Amber did have prosthetic limbs.
Okay.
But she obviously, because of the COVID and the lockdown, she couldn't get them resized for 2 years, and obviously with her growing and stuff like that, she went back after lockdown, and unfortunately, the NHS decided that they could no longer offer her prosthetic limbs. And now as a school with Amber, a dream again is obviously to walk. So as a school together, we're trying to raise a sum of £15,000 to get Amber to walk again. And us as a school, we're trying our best to do that. So just a little bit of what we're doing. We're trying to do raffles, fundraising, doing fun days and stuff like that. Just anything we can do to raise some money.
It's an amazing story, because I'm looking at the website now. We've got the address there, the Cash for Kids website. It's a bit lengthy for me to say, and I'm not going to ask you to say it as it either, Jay. So we're going to put it all over our description, all over our socials as well. If you're watching on YouTube and you can't quite make out the link underneath my chin, we're going to put it on the link in the description of the video. We're going to put it on our Twitter and Instagram as well. But I'm reading it, and it's a really it's a bit of an emotional read, really. You know, a dream of a young girl who's not yet an adult is to walk. It makes you realise how lucky you are to have, the basic health of being able to walk, and what that could do to a young girl. But you're saying there, Jay, she's a happy kid. She's in good spirits. Is she a good kid to be around?
Oh, she's honestly, she's amazing, and as well, she has a laugh about it. She's hilarious.
Scouse human, eh?
Like, honestly, she's never a dull moment, never worried about what anyone else thinks of her. So confident and independent in herself. Honestly, her handwriting is better than mine. But honestly, you wouldn't believe it. Some of the stuff she does is honestly just incredible. It's mind blowing. But obviously, our main goal as a school is to just try and get her walking again, because obviously, if we can do that, then we will.
So what have you been doing so far, Jay? Because my mother-in-law works with you. She's saying that there's been a couple of footy shirts raffled off and stuff. So what have you done so far, and what are you looking at doing in the future as well?
So at the minute, my boss is doing a golf day on Prescott's golf course. I'm sure it's Prescott Golf Course. I've got more information. But if there's any keen golfers that are watching, feel free. There's teams, you can enter the team and you can get involved. There's other stuff. There's a buffet on the day. There's other prizes and games and stuff. I've got an Everton shirt from this season signed by the full squad up on my page at the minute. There's a few numbers left on that if anyone wants to get involved. There's also a girl who will work, which has got a signed Bobby Firmino shirt. I won't be having a go like, but
It'll
if
raise a few
anyone
quid a bit as well.
I know, yeah, not half, but if anyone wants to have a go or wants any more information on any of that, you can follow me on Twitter. It's Jamie Banks 1878. So if anyone wants any more information on that. Yeah, also my boss is doing a canoe from Liverpool to Leeds on the canal, so he's been practicing with that. But yeah,
You're busy, aren't you? You're busy trying to. You sound really busy, and it sounds like something that's not only important to the school, but it sounds like it's very important to you personally.
Yeah, it is. It's mainly just to see the smile on her face. Like as I said, she's happy anyway. There's never really a day where obviously she will have a bad days just in day-to-day life, but there's nothing really. It's never really about the condition. She's always happy. But yeah, she took a trip up to Radio City not too long ago, about a week ago. We're just trying to get the message across the city because obviously, if anyone can donate or if anyone's got any prizes or anything like that, or if you want to have a go on any of the raffles, literally anything can help just to get that £15,000 target.
What we'll do, Jay, as a podcast is we'll throw a few quid in, but we'll also give you something if you want to raffle it away. And I don't know whether you want to raffle this away at a certain time. I know you work in a school and there might be some keen students, but if anybody wants to shoot a podcast in our studio, we've got a studio in town. It'll come with dual cameras, it'll come with proper mics, it'll come with a background and an intro. Whether they want to do that for part of their course they're on, they want to do it with their mates for a laugh, they just want to sit down and record themselves having a beer, we'll throw that in there as well. So you have a full podcast session in our studio. It doesn't have to be a Costa Park podcast. They can own it and have an hour in there, so you can have that as well.
Yeah,
okay.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, no worries. I've got you on. We've been talking. You're a blue, and this is a blue podcast, a blue audience. So we'll divert a little bit into it. The season just been chaos, hasn't it? It feels to me like it's a boxing match, and each round we're down, and we're getting back up, and we're down, and we're getting back up. Does it feel like that to you? It's a bit tiring.
Saturday was particularly hard. I thought we started the game very poorly. The first half was not good at all. Sloppy passes. Even the players who this season for me have been standout, like Michalenko, I thought he was poor. Onana just coming back off injury, but he was really poor as well. The only one who really stood out for me was maybe Beto, and then again, obviously he's missed a penalty, but that when we went 1-0 up, I thought, you know what, we were creating chances, we should be scoring. Obviously, their keeper had
keep him on. I was thinking, keep him on. He's just scored. He's had another shot. He's looking confident, and he got tagged off.
I know, but to be honest, their keeper had a worldie. But I've seen Dyche as well. He's come out and said we've got to stop him from having that worldie, and we have, because the chances that we were creating, they're not hard chances. White McNeil had the chance, should have probably put that away. Beto as again has had the penalty, but he's missed. I thought the run up was too straight for me. I knew straight away, soon as seen him step up for that penalty, and I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I know. It's proper Everton, isn't it? The moment you get a penalty, the first time you get a penalty, and however long it is, you miss it.
Yeah, like I was in the lower Gladys, and I didn't even see the handball itself, but I've just seen the whole of the park then just lift up, and I thought, there's no way that's not a penalty. There's no way. And I've obviously seen it on the replay, and I was like, yeah, Stonewall penalty. And for me, he's just got to hit it as hard as he can, hasn't he?
Do you know what, Jay? We've got big games coming up. I looked at April. I think we haven't got a game for 3 weeks after Saturday, so it almost takes you into April anyway. April's a massive month. We've got Burnley, Forest at home. I think we've got Sheffield United in May as well. And it's just, I think April's going to be the one for me. We get out of it. I think the home form is a little bit concerning because these games that you look at, you're going to win these 3 games in. I think it's Brentford as well at home. Those 3 games in April, and then the 4th game in May. The 4 teams at home. I'm scared that we can't even get over the line at home. I feel like it's a bit of a horrible atmosphere at first. And we said on our podcast this week, we think, us included, we're not better than any fan. I'm as guilty as any. I think we need to give our heads a little bit of a wobble in April and get behind them and really make Goodison a tough place for them.
Even when we got the point back, I thought, you know what, this might give us a little boost because Goodison's being flat. For months. It's been flat for months, and you can tell that. And like I said, I sit in the Gladys every time I go, so I'm like, that's where the noise is coming from. But even that, it's like the odd chance, and it just goes flat again. It's like you're waiting for the team to give you a moment to cheer about.
It's that
But
chicken and egg, isn't it? To the fans get the team
yeah,
going, or do the team get the fans going? And I think we're stuck at the minute. I think the
yeah,
players are a little bit fearful of what they can do at Goodison. I think the
yeah,
fans are a little bit, a bit too reactionary at times. I've booed this season, and I've gone home
yeah,
and regretted it.
100%.
I always say when you boo, I've always likened it to this, Jay. If you stub your toe in front of your kid, I dare you not to swear. Your instant reaction is always, you'll
It
regret it.
is.
You know, at the
It is
time.
100%. It's that, but it's like you've just said there as well. It's the home form as well.
Yeah,
It's not good enough. We haven't won a game since December. No.
yeah, I know.
We haven't won like a football match since December. And we've had a lot of hard games now. We've had Tottenham and we've had like, City and that as well. But you've got really games in there that we should be winning, like West Ham at home there. Yeah, they've just won
Palace.
4. Palace as well, 1-1. That
Yeah.
game was dire for me, awful. But then West Ham there, they've come off a good 4-2 win against Brentford. But I thought the game it was like a game of which team's the worst, weren't it?
Yeah, it
Like we were,
was like a challenge. Yeah,
that first half was shocking. We just we
yeah,
just let we just let Kudus run the game.
I
I
know.
was dying. No, we missed on the weekend. Ghana guy just to put a
Yeah,
tackle
you're right there. Just to get the team up the pitch a little bit, because the way he plays, he's a little bit of a in front of the back four. He allows midfielders in front of him to go a bit more forward. I think Onana, when he plays with Ghana guys, a bit better in going forwards, and when he's
Yeah,
not there, you do miss him. Again, it's now finding a way to play. I think we all know fans because Dwight McNeil is very public with his personal life. He's going through a bit of a hard time with his partner.
yeah,
I think the time was right to bring him out the team. To be honest, I think the
yeah.
time was right to bring Lewin out. But look, I want to get you back on in future day and talk more about the Blues. I'm going to let you get back to work. 'Cause I know my mother-in-law's there. She's probably like, "Dad, hurry up, hurry up." So
He just
before
told
you
me
do
then.
go, yeah. Right, before you do go, one last plug. It's a little girl called Amber. We are raising £15,000 to help this young girl live her dream, which is simply to walk. And we're going to be part of it across the Park podcast. We've threw a raffle players at you. We'll try and do some more as well, Jay. But can you just tell our listeners what they can do, whether it be throw a few quids at you, whether it be
Yeah.
contact you in relation to doing bits and bobs? Where's the best place to get hold of you, and what can they do to help?
Probably me Twitter, to be honest. Jamie Banks, 1878 on Twitter. You can, whether that's like I've just said, we've got a golf day there. So if you're a keen golfer or you want to enter the team, you can find me on there. Or whether you want to donate, I'm sure. Did you say you put the Cash for Kids link?
The Cash for Kids link is under my chin here on this YouTube splash. It's also going to be in the description on YouTube, and it's also going to
Yeah,
be on our Twitter, which is at Across the Park PC. It's a Cash for
yeah,
Kids link, so it's quite lengthy, but we'll lash it everywhere. And if you go to our socials or the link in its description, if you click it, it'll take you straight to the page to donate.
yeah. So just whether, even if you can just anything, literally £1, anything
Yeah,
helps. It goes a long way, more than you think. Or whether you've got any memorabilia or stuff you think people might be interested in buying, just anything you want to donate, or whether you've, like I've just said, we've got a few raffles going for some shirts there. We're going to auction some stuff off as well. My boss has got a Duncan Ferguson signed boot there as well.
Belter.
So just get hold of me on my Twitter, or just if you want to, just like Ian's got his socials there. If you want to just get in touch with him, and then you can just shoot me a message. But if anything you think might help, then definitely just don't hesitate to get in touch.
That's it. The Cash for Kids link is there. Jamie Banks 1878 on Twitter. Or if you're driving and you can't write all this down, you know our socials by now. It's Across the Park PC. Get over to us. My mother-in-law is a big part of this, so I'm in by default now, and it's something that it's really important to me. The podcast are going to be part of it. We hope you will be too. Please click the link and help this young girl live her dream, which is simply to walk again. Jay, thanks for coming on, mate, and I will catch
No
you again
worries.
another
Thank you
time.
very much for having me in. See you later. Bye bye,